In an earlier video, we looked at customer feedback. As I mentioned in that video, Amazon estimates that only 10 to 20% of orders result in any kind of feedback. You can bet, though, that customers are more likely to provide feedback when they're unhappy. This isn't usually a problem for established merchants who are doing a decent job of keeping buyers happy, especially merchants with high volumes, because the feedback that naturally occurs will generally outweigh the few bad feedbacks. But it's entirely possible that a new merchant with one or two unfortunate mistakes can see their ratings damaged, as the few problem orders are far more likely to result in feedback, bad feedback of course, than the orders without problems. It goes without saying that it's always good to keep customers happy. It's especially important for new and low volume merchants. Ship on time. Sell what your listing says you're selling. That is, don't exaggerate the quality of the goods. Perhaps stop selling lower quality goods that simply don't satisfy customers. Respond quickly to messages from buyers and potential buyers. If you run out of stock, make sure you remove your listing from Amazon right away, and so on. If you do all those things, you will get a customer feedback rating of 5 stars or very close to it, and a seller rating of 98 to 100. So, beyond just doing a good job, what else can you do to get and maintain high customer feedback? You may want to try asking for feedback to try to increase the 10 to 20% of buyers that Amazon says leave feedback. Actually, as many merchants do ask for feedback, the percentage of buyers leaving feedback may be lower for merchants who don't ask. So, how do you ask? Well, if you ship your products yourself, you might put a message in the box asking for feedback. Many merchants do this. Include the URL of the page that customers have to go to leave feedback. Some merchants actually go a little further and actively encourage 5-star feedback. This merchant asks buyers for 5-star feedback and asks them to contact the company if for any reason they do not feel like the order deserved 5 stars. The company is trying to head off bad feedback at the pass and encourage the best feedback possible. This strategy can sometimes stop bad feedback being placed by getting the customer to see the company in a good light, even if there are problems with the order. A customer who believes it's an accident and that the company is trying to do its best is often willing to work with the company rather than place 1-star feedback. You can see here how buyers can leave feedback. They can enter the URL to go directly to the feedback page, or they can click the Leave Seller Feedback button on their orders page. Of course, if you're using FBA, sending a package insert isn't an option open to you. Sometimes Amazon will send an email to buyers asking them to leave feedback and linking directly to the feedback page, but it also often doesn't send this feedback request. But even if you use FBA, you can send such emails yourself. Select Orders, Manage Orders, and look for the customer names. Click a name and you'll see the Contact Customer page in which you can paste a message. Many merchants send each customer a thank you for your order message and include a link to the feedback page. Strictly speaking, you're not allowed to include links in these emails, but in fact they do go through. Still, there's another, perhaps more convenient way to communicate with buyers. You'll notice the customer's anonymized Amazon email address in the Contact Customer page. Highlight it and copy it, and you can then use this email in your regular email program. This allows you to create much more sophisticated messages, including links, email addresses, HTML formatting, and so on. Some merchants use CRM, Customer Relationship Management, programs to manage the communications with buyers. So they take this email address and enter it into the buyer's profile in their CRM. This allows them to easily send promotional emails of various kinds. Some send a message as soon as the order has been taken, then a day or two before it's scheduled to arrive, then perhaps a few days after arrival, and so on. In order to send emails from outside the Amazon system, though, the sending email address has to be registered. Click the Messages link at the top of Seller Central, then the Alternate Address link on the right in the Tools box. you can both approve and block senders in this page. While we're in the Messages area, let's take a quick look. You can view messages that you've received from and sent to buyers in here. You can even search for messages related to specific order numbers, A-signs or email addresses, and filter by particular time periods. This is essentially a simple email program. You can respond to buyers' messages, and remember, as I've mentioned before, it's a good idea to respond quickly to keep both the buyers and Amazon happy. By the way, the system also stores copies of the emails that you send to buyers using an external email program with the method I just described. If you find yourself responding with the same answer over and over, you can create response templates, boilerplates that Amazon can quickly insert into messages for you. Click the Manage Email Templates link over here, then the Create Template button. Type a name for the template. Click the Favorite button to add it to the favorites list. I'll show you that in a moment. Then type or paste your message into the large text box. You can add tags if you wish. These are keywords that help you find the template more quickly. But most merchants don't really need this, as you'll see in a moment. You only really need tags if you have a lot of templates. Save the message template, and it'll then be available later. As you can see here, when you're responding to a message, you can insert a template at any point while entering your text. Click the Insert Email Template link and click on the template you want to use. You can see the favorites list along with recently used, and if you have a lot of templates, you can even search for them. Click Select, and that text is dropped into the message at the insertion point.